Welcome to Sales Players, the #1 podcast for top players in B2B sales.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out in the world of sales, this is the show for you.
We're all about bringing you fresh, actionable ideas to supercharge your rev gen game.
We dive deep into the mindset, habits, and tools used by top performers in the industry. Generate more leads, close more deals, and build wealth and financial security in B2B sales.
So if you're ready to level up, you've come to the right place. Join the conversation with other like-minded sales players and continue the discussion beyond the show.
Hit the subscribe button, tune into the Sales Players, and let's start winning together.
What's going on, sales players? It's Jesse here, and I want to introduce you to a genuinely cool product that we just learned about called evyAI. It is a LinkedIn AI content assistant that was built to enhance your LinkedIn presence, increase your exposure and productivity as a seller. You can create personas, generate ideas, generate comments, craft posts, and 10x your LinkedIn presence. We actually had Joe, the founder, on the show, and he was kind enough to put together a special offer for sales players. There is a link in the show notes with more details. Go check out evyAI. That's evyAI.
Hey there, sales players. Today's episode is brought to you by our amazing new sponsor, Lemlist. Whether you're closing deals or nurturing leads, Lemlist is your all-in-one platform for personalization outreach that converts. Picture this. You craft a killer email campaign in minutes using Lemlist's intuitive drag-and-drop editor. Want to stand out? Lemlist is here to help with advanced personalization that lets you dynamically insert custom images, videos, and even personalized landing pages based on your persona. With Lemlist Analytics, you'll know exactly who opened, clicked, and replied to your emails. Join thousands of sales professionals who trust Lemlist to supercharge their outreach efforts. Use the link in the show notes below and start your free trial today. Your personalized outreach just got a whole lot easier. Happy selling.
So we want to welcome Joe onto the pod today. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. This is going to be a productive and exciting, high-energy conversation.
High energy. I love that. Yes.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah, high energy. Right before a holiday weekend is when we're recording this, by the way.
Cheers. Cheers. I get my high energy from H2O.
H2O. Yep. That's right. I got my polar seltzer water.
Ooh.
So,
Love that.
Good.
Love that. And I love the avocado art behind you, Chase.
Thank you. That is my wife. All my wife. I'm not the artist. My wife is a potter. She actually used to be a oil painter, but she turned to pottery. So she's a functional
potter. I thought potter was someone who smokes pot.
Well,
pothead.
Well,
yeah.
Gosh, no.
So we were just talking before we hit record here, and Joe, you can introduce yourself a little bit more, but you're an expert on LinkedIn specifically, I'd say. I mean, you're probably an expert on a lot of platforms, but you opened up this call before we hit record on why you're so long with LinkedIn, but we wanted to capture that. So maybe take a step back, tell us about who you are, what you've built, and then tell us why you're so long on LinkedIn.
So if you're listening to this and you don't know me, my name is Joe Apfelbaum. I'm the CEO of Ajax Union and now the founder of evyAI. And I started a marketing agency back in 2008. And the goal was to help small businesses grow. We were very focused on search engine optimization. Google was all the rage in terms of SEO. And that was like the big thing back in 2010. It was going to be like, oh my God, you got to be on SEO and SEO is the thing. And I look back at my presentation from 2011. I was like, oh, LinkedIn now has 65 million members, and everybody was ignoring it because it really didn't really matter back then. Everything was about search intent and search, and people just started to do research on the internet. And fortunately, we grew the business very quick. We were number 178 on the Inc. 500. We were one of the fastest private growing companies in America. And we've serviced over 1,100 clients in our agency. And there was a time where I had to kind of change the demographic of my client base and convert from having smaller businesses, because the average small business goes out of business within 3 years, and I wanted to have longevity. So focusing on more mid-size and larger companies and also higher retainers. So we wanted to 10x our average revenue per client. And so I realized I can't do that from SEO. I need to do that from relationship building, because your best customers and your biggest customers come from relationships. So I I started doing a lot of networking, like a lot of offline networking, going to like all types of events, and I became a member of Entrepreneurs Organization, EO. I became a member of Vistage. These organizations charge tens of thousands of dollars to be a member, and I became a member of the Inc. 500 Business Owners Council, the Young Entrepreneur Council, YEC, and I just joined a bunch of organizations, and what I found was that the types of clients that I was getting from networking were much, much higher. I was just talking to somebody today, and I said, I closed a $45,000 a month deal from a referral that I would have never been able to close if it wasn't an introduction from EO. And it's crazy. And now I'm talking about doing a $100 million deal with that guy after 10 years of having a relationship with him. And so the key is that relationships matter. And when Microsoft paid $26.2 billion for LinkedIn back in 2016, nobody even threw a fit about it. When Elon Musk spent $40 billion on Twitter, on X, everybody threw a fit and everyone was like, that's worth less than the $26 billion that Microsoft paid back in the day, because inflation is like 4,000% now. A piece of bread cost $1 million here.
That's right.
So the idea is, like, they invested, the largest company in the world, Microsoft, invested so much money on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn now does $1 billion a year in profit. So, and all this is publicly available information, and they have 1 billion members. 38% of LinkedIn users pay for using LinkedIn. Most people on X don't pay for X.
Right.
If you go on LinkedIn, what's the data? And I'm doing a lot of AI automation now. What's the data that you get on people when you look at someone's LinkedIn versus when you look at someone's X? When you look at somebody's X, you see their screen name, like Big Butt Betty 2554, right? That's you know, like Trump, whatever, right?
Right.
That's X. But when you go on LinkedIn, what do you get? You get first name, last name, company name, where they worked, where they went to school, whether they're verified with their company ID or not, their location. You don't see their location on Twitter most of the time. You don't see where they worked 3 jobs before and when they got their first waiter job and where they got fired from the last 5 times that they got fired because they were an underperforming salesperson, wink, wink. Like, if you go back and you take a look, you look at their recommendations, their mutual connections, what school they lied that they said they went to and they never went to. Like, there's so much amazing information that you get on LinkedIn that you can't get anywhere else, and LinkedIn's really tough. I created a free account on Twitter the other day from some fake AI avatar that I created. I'm going to create the OnlyFans page later, but I created this amazing, beautiful AI avatar on Twitter, and Twitter let me do it. LinkedIn didn't let me do it. LinkedIn canceled her account right away. They're like, no, we're not showing boobs on LinkedIn. We're not doing that. It's not happening. But Twitter is totally fine. You get it?
Yeah.
So LinkedIn is a context of business networking. It's a Now, that might change in the next 10 years. You know, Elon wants to compete with LinkedIn. He may change it and start offering people's first name, last name, company name, and all that stuff. But LinkedIn's way ahead of the game when it comes to the data.
Yep.
And even when I take all my connections, I have 48,000 followers or whatever on LinkedIn. 30,000 of them are my connections. So you can have 30,000 connections on LinkedIn. Every connection you add on LinkedIn becomes a follower. There's no other social platform today that does that. When I add a connection, I get a follower. WTF, that's gold. That's nuggets of gold. What the hell's wrong with you? If you're in sales and you're not sending out 25 connection requests a day, the hell is wrong with you? You should be fired right now. Or trained. You should be trained, not fired.
Right, yeah.
And can you do that automated? Is there a way to automate that, or do I have to like use my fingers, my strong thumbs to do this?
And
Well, you could use your strong thumbs to do it, or you can use agents. There are agents that will go out. There are plenty of agents, but the problem is the agents don't comply with LinkedIn's terms and conditions. So there's a risk. If you want to have like a happy medium, you can use an assistant instead of an agent. So an agent does things automatically. An assistant will assist you. So instead of using your thumbs, you use your fat finger and you push a button and the assistant does it for you. So LinkedIn wants you to use assistants. They don't want you to use agents. That's why we built an assistant called evyAI. We do have agents that are doing stuff for us, and I do recommend a salesperson look into an agent. But even if you have an agent, you still need an assistant. Somebody just texted me today. I messaged 743 CROs in the past 2 weeks, and 67 responded that they're interested in having a conversation with me. And this is in Sales Navigator. Most people have 50 credits, but somehow I'm able to message 740 whatever people, right? How am I able to do that? Because I understand the hacks of Sales Navigator, and I know how to do this stuff. And I talk about it on my LinkedIn Lives. I went on LinkedIn Live over 90 times this year alone. and I'm going to go on another 100 in God knows time. I love doing this stuff. I love taking action. I love hustling. So an assistant that we built is called evyAI, evyai.com. I'll say it again, evyai.com. And if you're in the U.S. and you're listening to this and you want a demonstration video of evyAI, all you got to do is text 973-841-8868. Send the word demo to my bot, and it will respond with a link to my demo. Again, it's 973-841-8868. Send the word demo, and you watch as you get a LinkedIn URL where you can go to my recent post that has a video of my LinkedIn assistant called evyAI. Now, the reason why I tell people to do this is because I'm on a podcast right now, and there's no link that you can click. And I am probably going to be in a sauna, and I'm not going to take my phone with me. So when you text me, I don't want to respond in the sauna. So I have an automatic agent that will respond for me. But when we have a conversation, I might use an assistant to help me draft a reply, or I might have an assistant to help me draft a comment to your post. So, for example, if I look at Chase's posts, Chase has lovely posts. Chase has many, many lovely posts. So I just look him up on LinkedIn, and I see he's in Louisville, Kentucky. Kentucky.
I'm actually in Baghdad, but, it's like, this is a good question for you, Joe. It's like, does location matter? Should I live in Baghdad, Kentucky, which is like, there's only like 100 people that live here. Should I have that? Or should I have
definitely
Louisville?
Not.
No.
Louisville, yeah, definitely. Do not write anything related to Baghdad unless you want to get bagged like a dad.
Well, that's why it's called Baghdad,
Yeah, exactly.
It's an old mill town. It's like, gosh, Baghdad.
And I see you're friends with the guy. There's a guy named Mike Ashabranner.
I just wish you were sharing. Can you share your screen and just show
Dude,
what you're doing?
Oh my God!
It's right next to the stop button. Yeah, if you can actually share.
Okay, so here's the guy.
His the redneck connector. Yes.
Okay, so talking about rednecks. So this guy over here, he's the redneck guys. I kid you not. He has a K in his connector. If he had 3 Ks, I wouldn't be surprised. But I know he's a good guy. I know he's a good guy.
Oh God!
But I know you get what I'm saying. I'm kidding. He's a really nice. You can cut that out if you want, but he's a really nice guy.
We're not cutting it out.
That was a joke. It was a joke.
It was a joke.
Am I allowed to make a joke?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, yeah.
He's a redneck,
Okay. He writes it himself. It's not like I called him something that he didn't call himself. And that joke just came out of me. It came out of me with a K. Anyway, so he has 30,000 followers. How did I find him? On your profile, I just saw that he commented on your profile. And then I clicked on it, and you mentioned that you're in Kentucky, so I figured, why did they call a toothbrush a toothbrush? Otherwise, they would have called it a teeth brush because they invented it in Kentucky.
That's right.
Someone from Kentucky actually told me that. That was a great joke. So if I want to leave a comment on his post, all I have to do is click comment, and then literally just comment on his post, and the assistant drafted the comment for me. I don't have to draft the. So if you want to be top of mind with people, you can literally go to anybody's profile, save their profile by clicking on the Save Profile button. And I happen to know Mike. Me and him are friends. So I can joke about him. But if I click on Add to a List, I can add him to a networking list because I network with him all the time. And he refers business to me. I refer business to him. And I could also click a button and summarize his profile and give me a whole summary of his profile. I can click on See Recent Activities, and then it'll automatically be able to show me all of his recent posts here. And I can go through them one by one and just drop comments on all his posts here just to kind of stay top of mind with him and have him and all of his followers remember that I exist. But this tool does a lot more. This assistant does a lot more than just this. It'll also draft connection requests to people. So, for example, Diane, who commented on his post, if I wanted to send her a connection request, and this way I don't have to because she's one of the 1,000 people that are actually waiting to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm going to hit accept.
Wow.
And it says your
Holy
connection
cow.
failed. It said failed. You know why it said failed?
You reached your connection limit.
So I'm going to click on my network.
You got your connection limit.
I got you have 30,000 people. So yeah, I'm at 30,000. So I got to remove some dirtbags.
So how do you know who to remove? Like, why are you just like looking at like somebody that is maybe never logs into?
Can you look at that kind of data?
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, you can search people that never posted that, so for example, if I want to search all the Davids on my profile, I can go through all the Davids. I can have AI kind of do this for me, but I'm going to go through this just to kind of see some people over here. that that are on here that say don't even have a profile photo, or they like this guy over here, the president of this he had this company, he never posted, he never does anything, he has no recommendations. So
right
I'm gonna
way
first
unfollow.
Yeah, so I've never messaged him, nothing going on over here. I see he has a Gmail account. Screw that. I'm not even going to bother emailing him. I'm literally just going to go straight to remove connection. You see that?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I sharing the right tab? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sharing
you're-
the right tab.
Yeah, we can see it.
And then if I go to my network, I can make room. Now I go to my network over here, and now I have room for one more person. And so I can go to grow, and I can go to see all invitations, and I can go to people, and I have 1,000 people waiting to connect with me, including that woman there. And I don't remember that woman's name. Let me see if I can find that woman. That woman.
You got to go back to the redneck to see her. You got to go back to the redneck to see her.
Exactly. So I just found her, and now it was accepted. You see, now I refresh, and it says first degree. So now I'm up to 30 again. And now I can message her, and if I don't know what to say, I can have evyAI draft the actual message for me. I can select my goal. So, for example, building a relationship. I can select my tone, conversational, curious, challenging, friendly, funny, informative, whimsical, whatever, sarcastic, whatever. I'm going to select whimsical. And I can just give her a quote if I want, or promote my book, or write her a poem, or tell her something in Spanish. I could even use
multi-language.
I could use MC Mojo.
Oh.
There's a lot that I can do here. I can draft a comment that includes my demonstration video. Thank you for your kind words. I'm glad you found my insights helpful. Validating, appreciable, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to send this over here, and I'm actually going to say over here, thanks for connecting.
So you can edit it. Yeah.
You can edit
it. So I just edited it, and it actually put the link to my demo here. It did the whole thing for me.
It has the link. And where is the
Story,
demo?
yeah.
Where is the demo hosted?
So if you go, it's hosted on LinkedIn, but if you go to app.evyai.com and I kind of like log in over here, these are all the people that I saved. I have a list of all the people that I saved that from the back end, I can literally just see them all. Like Mike, this guy, I saved him here. If I click on see activity on the right side here, it'll show me all of his posts. If I click on post writer, I can draft a post with a hook, main points, call to action, and hashtags in a few seconds. So I'm going to say, I have a sales podcast. We did number 1. Help me celebrate. Okay, I'm going to choose my goal, provide value, my tone, informative, and then I'm going to give, I have a lot of different options here, but over here I'm going to choose just the Joe Apfelbaum one, hit generate, and it usually takes about 5 to 10 seconds to write a hook, main points, call to action, and hashtags that's in my voice. I'm thrilled to share an incredible news. Their sales podcast hit major milestone. I couldn't be more excited. When I started my first journey, blah, blah, blah.
This damn AI is too long. It's like, come on. Yeah. But yeah.
So if I want to make it shorter, I can go in here and say, make it shorter. I can make it 20 words, make it 30 words, whatever. But this is great for SEO as well. It thinks about that. It includes 3 popular hashtags. If I don't know what to write about, I do have an idea generator here where I can say, give me a topic about sales podcasts. And I hit generate ideas. I didn't even select a persona, but I could have selected my persona. And it'll give me 4 ideas. I can select one of those ideas, hit generate. It'll write a hook, main points, call to action, and hashtags in under 6 seconds.
Joe, where does the data come from? Is it OpenAI or is another LLM?
We have a few LLMs. Right now, this one's using ChatGPT. It's using, not ChatGPT, it's using GPT-4o. ChatGPT is one of their products that you can select, but you see the way it wrote in 6 seconds. It wrote a post about a topic that I gave it, that it came up itself. It came up with the topic itself, and it wrote a post.
Wow.
I do have lots of templates that I can put over here, including prompts. So you can save templates. And then personas, for example, this is a persona, so you tell it who it is.
Okay.
In this case, I told it, you're MC Mojo, and I said, acts like a gangster rapper. Use terminology that is hip and modern. Talk like a rapper would when they're under the influence of cannabis and bling. For example, I'm a gangster rapper. I get cheese. Yo, I'm bad to the bone. Hell yeah. And then I always end with, I'm dangerous.
Yeah.
Like you see that? And I have lots of personas. I have drunk personas. I have personas as a dog, as a Barbie with a beard. I have lots of really creative personas. So if I go into LinkedIn and I'm on the feed and maybe I'm on the influence of something like mushrooms or whatever, I'll just click on this button over here and I'll just click on, say, Barbie Joe, and it'll write as if I'm Barbie. If I want to do MC Joe, I'll just hit GPT-4 because GPT-4 is a little more creative.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it'll say, Ira Zlotowicz, that's some straight fire news about Andre joining the GAPRC crew. AI stepping up the commercial real estate game is like adding some serious bling to the hustle. Can't wait to see this homie revolutionize the mortgage biz. Keep stacking that cheese and making moves. I'm dangerous, baby. And I could just insert that, and I could actually tag him and post this just like that. Boom.
There it is. So who is like I guess this is a really broad question, but like who is the primary, who can benefit from this the most? Obviously, frontline salespeople should be considering a tool like this because this is going to this is like a super compounding effort. What do they call it? Force multiplier. This is a force multiplier for connecting.
If you're in sales, one of the most important things that you need to do is get exposure. You need credibility, you need exposure, you need meetings. The best way to get exposure is to leave comments. When you leave a comment, you're guaranteed that the author will see it. Why? Because the author worked really hard to post something, and they're paying attention. And often, most posts on LinkedIn, 99% of posts get 0 comments. If you're the one that leaves the comment on the post, you're going to be the one that gets the exposure. Go find posts from CEOs that are in your target market. You're going to see their posting. On Sales Navigator, there's a filter that says have they posted or not in the past 30 days. Find them. Save them, connect with them, and just start posting comments on their posts. See what happens to you. When you call them, they're gonna know who you are.
Yep.
When you call, so could you imagine you had 100 sales reps, and all 100 sales reps are doing this. They're all trained. They're all using evyAI. We have evyAI teams, so one manager could buy it. You can get it for all their reps. We can train them all in on how to use the AI. We can give them a persona so it knows who they are within the context of the company. And every persona could have a different call to action, so depending on what you want to say, it can be in there. It's all trained and ready to go.
Yeah.
And the AI sounds exactly like you. You saw that way I was just bonifying that message just like that. That was amazing. It ended with, I'm dangerous, just like that. So now, you guys are not going to do that. You might be a little more professional and more conversational, more Spartan, whatever your tone is for your core values in your company. But the beauty is 100 sales. Imagine this. You have a company page. Hear this. You're a company, you do B2B, tech sales, whatever, and you have 75 sales reps. You tell them all to comment on the company page when the marketing manager posts something on the company page, but none of them do it. Why? Because what the hell are they going to comment? Yeah. Now, all 75 people get this tool that, by the way, costs less than 50 cents a day for unlimited comments. Less than 50, and the price is going down. So less than 50 cents a day for unlimited comments. And they all get the commenting tool, and all 75 commit to spending 5 minutes a day commenting. So they all do it together in the morning. They all go in at 9 a.m. from 9 to 9:05. They all leave a comment on the post. Now the post has 75 comments from the 75 reps. That post goes viral on LinkedIn every single time. Why? And you look like an amazing company because your posts are going crazy. Now the CEO posts something. He puts it in the group, in the Slack group or whatever communication tool you use internally. All the sales reps comment on the CEO's post. Now 25,000 people see that post that the CEO posted, including all the prospects that each sales rep is connected to individually. Because when you comment, your connections see that, and it goes back into the feed. That is a multiplier that if literally just 100 companies took advantage of that, it would change their life. And so my goal is I want to help companies, and there's 1 billion people on LinkedIn, so I don't need everybody. My goal is just to help 1,000 companies. That's it. 1,000. If I help 1,000 companies, I'm probably not even going to take on more people. That's it. I'm done. I want 1,000 companies that have 30 sales reps each. So if you want to be one of the 1,000 that I make a difference for, just let me know. I'm happy to give you guys a special deal.
And one thing that I'll tell you, Joe, is I was an early adopter to, and remind me the name. This is like the one thing I get hung up on this thing.
evyAI, evyai.com.
Evy.ai.
No, not .ai. No, there's no .ai.
Gosh.
It's evyai.com. I don't like .ai domain names.
Okay.
I only like .com domain names because I think it's important for people to use .com.
Got it. So I use this tool, and I really, it's amazing how far it's come since I think I was really a beta test user, and it even helped me back then. And I think people are sleeping on LinkedIn. And one of the things that I just love about you is you're omnipresent. You're everywhere. And over the summer, I was like really going after Alex Hormozy. Like I was just in a Alex Hormozy just drinking his content left and right, and I'm like, I'm going to go on to school, and I'm going to start a school community, and it's going to be school-tastic. And school, actually, I work for Hyros, so we're an attribution ad platform. Alex Becker and and Alex Hermosi are friends, and I see you comment in the school community that, hey, I'm starting a LinkedIn school community. So talk to us about your school community.
Yeah, so I have 3 separate school communities. 2 of them are revenue generators, and 1 of them is just for search engine optimization. The school community for search engine optimization is called evyAI. So it's skool.com/evyai. That's it. Mm-hmm. So if you search, for example, the ultimate LinkedIn task list on Google, that presentation comes up. That school community comes up. Or I have hundreds of keywords that it ranks for already. So it's really good for SEO. We have just under 300 members in that community. And it's a vibrant community where we meet on a regular basis and we talk about all things AI and LinkedIn. So that's one community. The first community that I created is called the Thought Leaders community. We charge $97 a month to be a thought leader. I increased the price to $9.97 just so that more people don't join. But we have a few dozen people in there, and we kind of engage with each other's content. It's meant for thought leaders. If you want to join that, you go to school.com/thoughtleaders. And then there's a form there that you can fill out. Right now it's $997 a month. But if you click on that form and you fill it out and then you let me know you filled out that form, I can lower the price to $97 and kind of let you into that community for $97. And then I have another community which teaches people how to do LinkedIn automation. You mentioned agents before, or robots for LinkedIn to automatically do things. So if you want to learn how to do that, that one's $97 a month. It's linkedin.com/ it's school.com/AI automation. So what did I do? This is what I did. I went on School, and I downloaded all the available schools. I had a scraper scrape all the available schools on School. And then I ran that through AI to do an analysis of every single school community. And there are 4,000 school communities that have a LinkedIn profile attached to it. So out of the 100,000 communities, only 4,000 people even attach their LinkedIn to their school community. And out of those, only 1,000 of them are actually even active. They have any members. 90% of them don't even have any members. They have one member, one admin, whatever. I analyze the whole thing. So let's say there's 10,000 that have and out of those, 1,000 of those 10,000 have an actual LinkedIn profile attached to their community. So it's pretty high. Of 10,000, 10%, have a link. So what I did was I took all those, threw them into Apollo, enriched all their email addresses, and emailed all of them. All 1,000 people. And I said, hey, I see you're on School. Let's connect. Let's build a relationship. And I had dozens of conversations with people, talking to them about their community. And some of those people happened to have joined my AI automation community, my LinkedIn automation community. So I generated some revenue from that. And I also made some friends from that process. But School is a pretty cool place where people can learn and grow. Mm-hmm. And they really simplified. My goal was to just generate 6 figures from School, and I already did that. It was pretty quick for me to kind of build that. But my main thing is to kind of really promote evyAI. That's like my main thing. Mm-hmm. So what I want to do is I want to help more people get a voice using artificial intelligence, and so I built an AI that allows me to be able to help people on LinkedIn, the platform that I'm really bullish about, that I'm really long on.
Let me ask this. One of the things that I hear, I'm sure you got a really good response for this, but a lot of my network will say, I don't want to install something like this into LinkedIn because I don't want to get banned by LinkedIn or Twitter or School or anybody. It sounds like you've done this across a lot of different platforms like School, X, LinkedIn, Facebook, whoever. A lot of people get really nervous that somehow they're going to violate the terms of service of LinkedIn and their account's going to get disconnected and then they're going to lose their 30,000 followers or whatever connections. Is there a fine line there? Or is there any guidance you'd give there for anyone who's worried about that?
If you're using an agent, then you are at risk of losing your account if you do too much activity or you use the wrong type of agent or the wrong strategy. If you don't use an agent, you still are at risk at losing your account if you do too much activity, even if you're doing it manually. So I had a sales rep that I hired, and she sent 700 messages in one day. her account got flagged,
Ooh.
and LinkedIn blocked her account, and they claimed she used automation. But she didn't use automation. She just copied and pasted messages like a maniac. Or maybe she was on crack or something. 700 messages in one day. So if you're going to do, a client called me up and he's like, Joe, I signed up to evyAI. I started using it, and LinkedIn gave me a warning that I'm using automation. This is bullshit. You promised me that it complies with their terms and conditions. And I said, we comply with terms and conditions, but I looked at your account. You left 100 comments an hour. What are you, on crack? You can't leave 100 comments an hour and expect LinkedIn not to get pissed. And also, you're not even paying for LinkedIn. You hit the commercial use limit. That's why you got banned. It has nothing to do with what Chrome extension you hit. Go Google it. Google the commercial use limit. He's like, I spoke to a LinkedIn trainer. They said it doesn't exist. I'm like, tell that LinkedIn trainer to use Google and use their eyeballs and go on LinkedIn's help section and go find the commercial use limit. And LinkedIn clearly says that if you're using LinkedIn for commercial purposes and you're not paying them, they will block you for a month.
Okay, tell me if this sounds like you. You're a sales hunter with literally hundreds of target accounts in your territory and no idea who in your patch is even in the market for your solution. You've pulled all the reports, built all the lists, and you've done a bunch of account research, but you're still in the dark about where to find your low-hanging fruit. And look, you could waste another quarter smiling and dialing, grinding through a cold list, and blasting out emails, or you could do what I do and get Leadfeeder. Leadfeeder identifies the companies that visit your company's website and tracks on-site activity so you can see which leads from your region are ready to buy right now. Leadfeeder has customizable notifications, lead scoring, routing, and it works seamlessly with your CRM system. Right now, Sales Players has got the hookup on an extended 21-day free trial offer, so be sure to use the link in the show notes to sign up. Oh, and you should probably forward that link over to your ops team so they can get Leadfeeder set up for your whole team. Stop burning time and resources on leads that don't convert and sign up for Leadfeeder.
And he's like, oh, they only blocked me for a month? I was like, yeah, come back in a month. You'll see your account is fine. And he came back in a month, and his account was fine, and he signed up for evyAI Annual, and he promised me that he's not going to leave 100 comments an hour. Anyway, bottom line is we are not an agent. We're an assistant. So you are not at risk by using evyAI, but if you open up 50 profiles at one time, you're going to get blocked from LinkedIn. You're going to get a 429 error. I get 429s all the time. I don't mind getting a 429. And hey, if LinkedIn blocks me and they cancel my account and they tell me I don't comply, I'll deal with it. I'll fight them on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'll go on Twitter. I'll tag them. I'll fight them. I'll repel it. I'll tell them I wasn't using it because I wasn't. And then, I'll email the CEO of LinkedIn. I'll get him involved. And I'm a real person. I pay them good money. LinkedIn's profit comes from their LinkedIn Sales Navigator accounts, and 1 million people that are using Sales Navigator are using automation tools like agents, like Proper. And they only made $1 billion in profit. So if it's $100 a month times 1 million people, that's $1 billion in profit. And so if you just think about that, they're getting all the profit from people using automation, and if they ban all those people, they're going to lose all their profit, and LinkedIn's not allowed to do that. So they're never going to ban it. They're just going to ban people doing too much activity. So if you use a robot, the robot's actually going to be programmed to not do a lot of activity. And if you go to school.com/AI automation and you sign up to our classes that we do twice a month, I teach you how to use robots in school that use LinkedIn automatically to do things like send happy birthdays, happy anniversaries, automatically every single day without you doing anything. And you won't get banned if you have a Sales Navigator account and you don't use it too much. You got to slow the F down and stop being like a horny 17-year-old. Just slow down, take it easy, be more methodical, be more strategic, and you're going to be much more successful.
Yeah. And Joe, I want to let's take a step back. Let's go back because you have so much just networking ability. I want you to talk to us about early Joe and how you actually run a networking meeting.
Yeah, so I'll tell you about early Joe.
And how you actually get these connections and really how you built a business, and what do you suggest a person when they connect? How do you actually build that real relationship?
So in order for you to build a real relationship, you can't do what I used to do. I used to go into a networking event, and I used to hand out business cards. That's what I would do. Why? Because before, I went to school, and in school, no one told me how to network. You go to school, and your teacher, kicks you out because you're the class clown. I mean, that's all I experienced. That's the reality of it. And then I became really smart, became smarter than the teacher, and the teacher would always get pissed at me that I always had a witty remark for everything that he would say, and I would undermine him constantly. I was not a teacher's best friend, but I was valedictorian. They called me back in after I got kicked out because I decided that, I'm going to be really, really smart and outsmart the teachers. Like I did that as kind of like a coping mechanism. One of the things that I found was that you can't just be transactional with people when you're building relationships. Like a lot of the times, and people don't get this, especially salespeople, they think that, oh my God, I got to go make the sale, and they have desperation breath when they call somebody. You don't want to do that. What you want to do instead is you want to really get to know the person and be classy. If you're trying to build a family and have babies, don't just walk into a hotel bar and tell everyone you're looking to have a baby who wants to have a baby with you. Instead, what you want to do is you want to get to know some people and build a relationship and talk about them, because Zig Ziglar said, people don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. And so if you take one step back to who I was a guy that would walk into a bar and just put on a Google cap and hand out business cards telling everyone that I can make them rank on Google and that I'm a certified Google trainer. And I would leave and nobody would call me except for the life insurance guy that gave me that advice. Nobody else called me. So instead of doing that, what I do now is I get to know people. Like a legitimate just get to know people. And I try to figure out, how can I add value to your life? I wrote a book. The book that I wrote is called High Energy Networking. This was my 5th book. I have 5 children, I have 5 books, and I have 1 ex-wife.
Wow.
Check this out. This is the book right over here. High Energy Networking.
Look at that.
Okay, and in my book, I write that the secret to living is giving, not taking and faking or waking and baking. What I tell people is you've got to get to know how you can add value to other people's life. So when you go to somebody, you connect with them on LinkedIn, and the first thing you do is connect and pitch. Pitches get stitches. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be ghosting and posting. What you want to do instead is you want to take a moment and read their damn profile. Read their really, literally.
What?
The first
You
thing,
got to do research?
company name.
You can't just come in and...
Read. And if you don't want to read their profile, use my AI. It'll read it for you, give you a whole summary of what you should be talking to them about. But at least read the summary that my AI created for you about who the person is. Sometimes people hit me up and they're like, Joe, we'd like to sell you some marketing and web design. I was like, you got French fries? I need some French fries. And they're like, what? What's French? I just wanted to break your automation with some French fries, mother effer. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to do. Break your damn automation. I'll say, what's your favorite color? I say, give me a Tony Robbins quote just to see if the AI will respond to that.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? You got an AI? And
no.
Like, give me a Tony Robbins quote. Give me a dirty, dirty, dirty Tony Robbins quote from the time he was doing crack on the airplane. So what I want to let you guys know is that
I love Tony. He's a great client of ours at Hyros. We love him,
Yeah, I love him too. I went to 3 of his UPWs. I love him so much. But what I want to let you guys know is that the secret to living is giving and building relationships. So my process is when I connect with someone, I don't just connect and pitch. What I do is, the first thing I do is I try to learn who they are. If it's an inbound connection, it's different than if it's an outbound connection. So if somebody hits me up, I can kind of be a little more aggressive and tell them what I'm doing in my demo because they hit me up. So you hit me up, I can be a little more aggressive. If you hit me up with an in-mail, I can be super aggressive. Super aggressive. Check this out. I'm going to share my screen right now because I know this is going to turn you guys on super. So check this out. I go to messaging. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Oh, he was just looking at old Alex Hormozy, huh?
I saw Alex.
Yeah. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to click on this, and you see this woman over here? I'd love your incredible work, and we'd be thrilled to connect. Really? Really? Okay, we'll talk
Tony
about
Robbins
that after
work.
hours, after we have a couple of beers.
Which work?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this guy over here, George Mira, he said, I'm an associate producer or blah, 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 blah. Shut the flip up. Like, literally, just shut up and never speak to me again. Like, who are you? And why are you just selling me things I don't need, right? Like he's selling me things I don't need.
Pitch slapping you. Just write
exactly.
good
so I'm just going to write,
you.
Oh my God. Okay, so that was like an advertisement. Let me see what this is over here. Okay, so this is a pitch slap with no advertisement. You need a remote team, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to click on evyAI. I'm not even going to read it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick I actually have a persona. Let's see if I have a persona related to that. Okay, I'm just going to use the Joe Apfelbaum persona. And I'm going to say not intro. I'm going to use, let me see if I have it here, not interested. Okay, so I have a little template. You can use that template at evyAI. So this is my template. Thank you, but not interested. However, I'd like you to check out my AI. Okay, so I'm going to press generate, and it's going to write a whimsical comment that includes a link to my AI. You see that? Thank you very much for reaching out for your detailed introduction. I appreciate your interest in connecting. While I'm not looking for new partnerships, I'd love you to check out my new venture, evyAI. Boom. So now I just took this guy and I turned him around. Do you see that?
Yep. The seller just sold the seller.
So
wow.
Yeah, so I can keep doing this
right
over.
There. You're just hustling these people.
I can keep doing this over. Yeah, I can keep doing this over and over and over and over, and then, I don't even read these people's DMs anymore. I just have my AI literally just write it. It's my assistant. Wow. Thank you very much for reaching out and sharing with me your information about your roundtable.
Look who's in his.
Your talent-centric approach.
Look who is in these DMs. Scott Leese. What the heck is Scott Leese? We talked to Scott. Scott's coming on the show. We got to get old Scott Leese.
Check this out. So 2023, I said, well done, your content is great. He said, lol, thanks, appreciate that. Then I said, right now I'm building an AI software for sales. We recently got our thing featured. Would love your feedback. Seems interesting, but scared to test. LinkedIn throws people in jail. I said, we don't automate anything.
Okay.
We just suggest comments. He said, gotcha. And then I said, have a great weekend. And then I said, congrats on your anniversary, congrats on your anniversary, congrats on your anniversary, congrats on your anniversary, congrats on your 4-year anniversary. He ignored me all those times. And then I said, congrats University. It's always nice to celebrate the year. Have you seen our AI for LinkedIn? He said, nope. I said, check it out. He said, curious if it gets around LinkedIn laws not to break any rules. I said, our tool is designed to comply with LinkedIn's blah, blah, blah. He said, thanks, John. I'm happy to take a look and how it can be helpful. Much appreciated. Happy anniversary. It's always nice to celebrate another person's anniversary. And I'm going to say, by the way,
I'm on. You got to say I'm on the Sales Players podcast right now talking about you because we texted him today.
And said we talk about you a lot on our show. Yep.
We're going to send him this clip.
Oh, you should totally send him this clip.
We're going to send him. We're ripping him.
Yeah. Right. So, but look, bottom line is, I got so many people hitting me up. How
do you keep your inbox? How do you keep it clean?
That's a really good question.
How do you keep it organized?
Dirty. It's like super dirty. It's like my inbox is super. You should see my Instagram if you think that's dirty. But
oh yeah, gosh.
Yeah, no, I got a lot of people as a bachelor, as a successful bachelor. I got my Instagram really rolling. But and you guys should check it out. Instagram.com/Joe Apfelbaum. But
what's
the
your
thing
Twitter?
about LinkedIn.
What's your X?
/Joe Apfelbaum. Everything is /Joe Apfelbaum. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Everything is /Joe Apfelbaum. JoeApfelbaum. So
does Evie work for X at all, or does it only work for LinkedIn?
It will eventually. We haven't prioritized it yet, but in the next couple months, it'll definitely work on everything. Right now, we're just so focused on all the features. I want to create a networking one sheet for LinkedIn. I have an engagement group. I have a whole list of features that I'm going to be adding for LinkedIn. And at some point, I'm going to stop adding features for LinkedIn, and I'm going to shift to X, and I'm going to shift X is and I'm going to shift to WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I'm going to shift to I have 2 billion people on WhatsApp that are waiting for this. They're just waiting for this. And so I'm going to be shifting to these other platforms. But what I want to say is that in terms of my inbox, I want to answer your question, Chase. How do I manage my inbox? I have a full-time person overseas that looks at all my inbox things, helps me respond to the things that don't really need a response. And to the things that actually do need a response, she flags it in Slack for my regular assistant to bring up to me. And I meet with her for 20 minutes a day reviewing that, and she brings up one at a time and say, what should we say here? 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 And I kind of deal with it for 20 minutes. And then if I happen to see stuff on my mobile phone when I'm waiting in line or I'm at a pizza shop or whatever, I'll go in there and deal with it. But I know that I have 4 pairs of eyes on my thing because I literally have 1,000 messages every day that are flying through. So I literally have a full-time person going through it and dealing with it.
That's awesome. That's crazy.
I get more action in my inbox on LinkedIn than I do in email.
Wow. So how, as far as the inbound, because you seem to have so many people reaching out inbound, is that just because of the size of your network, or is that something that the AI is doing?
That's because no, simple. I post 3 times a day. Okay, I post 3 times a day, minimum once a day, but often I'll post 3 times a day. My average post gets over 1,000 views. I had a post a few months ago that got 1.7 million views. But my average post gets about 1,000 views. I have some posts that did really bad. I got 3 views. The only person that viewed it was my ex. What I want to let you know is that some posts do really, really well, and some posts don't do great at all. But on average, my posts get 1,000 views. So if I get 1,000 eyeballs, I got 20,000 people, 20,000 unique people looked at my profile in the past 365 days. So think about that. Could you imagine you had 20,000 unique people with all their caller ID? You know what caller ID means? I know their first name, last name, company name, where they worked before. I know their underwear size, literally everything about them. I know everything about them on LinkedIn that I can get.
Yeah.
That's really, really powerful. And I know that they looked at my profile, so now I can reach out to them and call them.
Okay, Joe, so we haven't done this yet, and you told me that we would do this, but what do we need to do to optimize a profile? What do people need to do to make sure their profile is optimized?
The most important thing that you need to do is use evyAI, and I'm going to go in here just to kind of show you something. Can you see my screen?
Yeah,
now?
it's on the red. Yeah, we're looking.
It's got like the infinity screen going, but
Really?
we can see
Okay, so let me hit stop share. Oh, because I'm sharing the share of my share. Hang on a second.
the full window.
I'm not going to share the full window. I'm just going to share this right over here. So if I go to LinkedIn, you can see my screen,
That's perfect.
right?
Yep.
Okay, so I go to my screen. I go to view profile over here. So this is my profile. You'll notice I have elements. Like, for example, I'll give you guys one tip. I give 20 different tips to people, and if anybody needs me to analyze their profile, happy to analyze your profile. But check this out. You see over here it says AI Biz Dev Trainer. Most people it says he or she. You know what he or she is?
Wasted space.
Like the pronouns?
It's a pronoun. So why wouldn't you use your pronoun in a very perverted way? You know, like why wouldn't you just go in here and just put a custom pronoun, and instead of being called they or shmay or bay or lay, just write who you really are. Write what your pronoun is. What do you want people to call you? For me, it's an AI Biz Dev Trainer. But today, I can change this to a LinkedIn trainer. You know, I'm going to do LinkedIn trainer, and I hit save, and now I'm a LinkedIn trainer. Okay, so if you go to my profile.
I had never thought, like, that's wild. Like, I don't know why. It's so simple, but I never would have thought of that, to be honest.
It's the only way to put another keyword next to your name here. That's the fastest way to do that. So you just choose custom pronoun and do that. I also have my little voice here. I have my verification badge. I have a company page that I created. You can create as many company pages as you want. I have a link that's SEO friendly that says try ChatGPT for LinkedIn because I want to rank for that. And then I have a really nice services page with a video with testimonials on my services page. I have 3 featured posts. I recommend a video, a document, and a newsletter. And if you don't have a video, I highly recommend you get a video. And if you text the word demo to 973-841-8868, you're going to get a link to this demo video that's on my profile here. And as you see, it has hundreds of likes and comments. And you can see all my posts over here. You can see my experience. And if you look down, how many recommendations do you think you have, Chase?
Me?
Yeah.
Probably not that many.
I have like 15 or 20 because I used to go solicit them from people I worked with.
Can you see how many I have?
God.
Oh, 500 plus.
500 plus. That was my goal. My goal is to do. Now I up my goal to 1,000. So I want to do 1,000 recommendations.
So did you just use Evy to go and solicit those, or
so you could use
who are those 500 folks?
So for example, if I want to find Chase, let me find Chase real quick. I'm going to find you right over here. Chase, you see your own profile here?
Yes, sir.
So you're missing that pronoun. You're missing the little voice note. You have a Let's Connect here, which is cool, but I would be a little more specific for something that you want to rank on Google. You see, this is a shitty about section. I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry, Chase.
Give it to me.
This is a shitty ass. So what I'm going to do is I'm just literally going to copy this about section, including this, just like this, put it into evyAI under our profile optimizer, choose thought leadership, make it motivational, hit generate, and I'll get you a hook, main points. I'll get you a proper headline. You see this? A target market, problem solved, background information.
We
what
can't
we do,
see that,
how we
but
do it,
yeah,
your next step.
we're hearing it.
Oh,
Joe.
hang on a second.
We're hearing it, Joe. Oh,
okay.
God.
So do you see?
Yeah, let's see. Okay, so
I'll
you
do
just
this
pasted
again.
it in.
I'll do it again. I'm going to go to Profile Optimizer. I'm going to choose a tone. I'm going to do philosophical.
Oh,
I'm
really?
going to paste in just whatever I copied from LinkedIn. I just literally copied that from LinkedIn. Okay? And what I'm going to do, should I copy some more information from LinkedIn?
No.
I can copy maybe your experience.
Yeah,
so
you can copy
me
my experience. Whatever. I don't care.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I'll copy your experience. I'm going to go in here to the bottom.
I'm a recovering
paste in
entrepreneur
your
turned SaaS sales executive. That's me.
Okay, so I just pasted some experience. I'm at 4,000 now. I'm going to use GPT-4, which is a little smarter than 4.0. I'm going to hit generate. And I didn't include a persona or any training. This is just straight up goal, tone, and shit from your profile. And what it's going to do is it's going to write a headline, and it's going to write a really organized about section that's super slick, that has different sections to it. So this is called a profile optimizer, which will make your about section much nicer, because you want to break it down with background information, what we do, how we do it, your next step, a call to action. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And a proper headline. So all this was done for you. You can just press copy here, and then you can edit it and paste it into your profile. So now I'll actually send you a message over here. You see that? And I hit boom. I just sent you this whole thing here.
Money.
So you have it.
Okay.
Do mine next.
Well.
Okay. I'm happy to do yours.
Yeah. Let's.
But let me just quickly find. So there's a lot more that you can do. But what I wanted to quickly show you is, because we're connected on LinkedIn, and I love you so much, Chase, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be the first and only person in 2024 that left you a LinkedIn recommendation. Now, you might realize how hard it is to leave somebody a recommendation on LinkedIn, right? It's super hard. Like, what the hell are you going to write? You start overthinking it. It's going to sit on their profile. Everyone's going to see it. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm going to say Chase was an amazing host and interviewed me on his podcast. He is a great salesperson and a wonderful networking buddy. I trust him and recommend his services. He is the man. Hire him now. Okay, and I'm going to press. Now what I'm going to do is, instead of using that and saying that, because that's shitty, I'm going to open this up over here, and I'm going to tell evyAI to write me a better version of that. Okay, I'm going to press insert. I had the pleasure of working with Chase when he was the co-host of the blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. He has a knack for relationships and networking. It's truly impressive. His experience is blah, blah, blah. I highly recommend Chase, blah, blah, blah. You see that? I'm going to press send. I'm going to press send. And now I just sent you a recommendation. If you go and accept that, go ahead and accept it. You have to go to your DM and accept it. Once you accept it, it'll show live on LinkedIn, and anybody can go to your profile. By the way, I'm going to endorse you for these two things here because I love you so much. And as soon as you say I accept it, I'll go in here and refresh and show everyone how it looks on your profile. It looks all beautiful. And whenever you leave a recommendation for people, it shows up on their profile, and the shelf life for that is forever. So it gets indexed in Google. It's really, really powerful to do that. So now all of a sudden my company gets indexed in Google because of Chase's profile, which is huge. Huge, huge, huge.
Wow.
Well, and of course,
I'm someone who's literally spent. Yeah, I'm someone who's spent a bunch of time writing recommendations for people, and usually I have to do that on with a wine-induced evening of like sitting down and writing that. So that makes that process a hell of a lot easier.
So hard. It's so hard to do. It's so hard to do, Jesse.
Yeah. All right, Jesse. I accepted it.
Oh, you accepted it. Okay, so let me go in here. Refresh the page. I'm just going to hit refresh so it comes back up. LinkedIn takes forever to load.
Let
me go in here. Look at that. Beautiful. Look how beautiful this is. Look at this. Now you take a screenshot of this recommendation and you write a post about it, and you have evyAI write the post about the recommendation. That's like meta. And then I'll use evyAI to leave a comment on your post that was written by evyAI. So I'll use evyAI to comment on the post. And then you'll reply to my comment with evyAI. So the recommendation was written by evyAI. The post was written by evyAI. The comment I left on it was written by evyAI. And the comment you replied was written by evyAI. And imagine your whole entire company did that to each other. And all your sales reps recommended each other. And every sales rep had 50 recommendations. That would be an epic company. If you're in sales and you're listening to this and you have a team and you don't buy a team's license of evyAI, I don't know what to tell you. You're not serious about business.
You're sleeping. You're sleeping.
You're sleeping.
I was so I call myself a recovering entrepreneur turned SaaS sales executive, and I was the only person on my team, my entire company, posting on LinkedIn. And there was like so much gold that could happen just from me being an actual, doing this, doing that cat thing of just.
Yeah, this is crazy. And there's so much that you can do. Like, even for example, if I take Jesse's entire profile, even if you don't use ChatGPT and you want to use some other form of automation with, let's say you want to use ChatGPT, okay? And it's much harder to use ChatGPT, but let's say we open up ChatGPT and we write a mega prompt. And I teach sales reps how to be able to create these mega prompts. So check this out. Act as a CRM helper and create a contact overview about this person with a bunch of other stuff here. So I'm going to press enter. And now what it's going to do, and I'm using ChatGPT, but I could be using Grok or whatever. Do you see this? This is all the information I scraped from your profile. I just copied and pasted, but look what it has. Jesse, your email address, your LinkedIn URL, about you. You're an enterprise sales professional for Gladly, co-founder of Sales Players. About your company, about sales players, who your ideal client is, some fun facts about you, where you went to school, skills that you likely have, a blurb to introduce you via email if I'm doing a sales introduction, things you're passionate about, details about you that I should have in hand when I'm having a conversation with you, and then 5 questions I should ask him during our next networking call.
It has stuff that I didn't even know was clear on my profile, like the fact that I started my career in customer service. Like, I don't know where that's necessary. I may have mentioned that somewhere, but
or
that's
maybe
so
it just
crazy.
knows because it pulled the whole thing and was one of your roles.
It takes the context,
Yeah, so it's crazy. So I can save all this. So we're going to integrate this into evyAI soon, the ability to just click a button and get all this data like this, organized this way on each person. So and then it will create tweets. It'll create automatic email responders. We're going crazy. We're going gung ho on this. So get in early because the price is going up very, very soon.
Well, so from my worldview too, because myself and my SDR, we do a lot of outreach to senior level executives, and that right there pays for itself in one meeting. In 100%. One meeting with a very high level exec, if I can get some of those cliff notes on somebody, because those small details are usually what helps get those massive deals done. That's wild.
Yeah, and it's really hard to pull that information and to process it really quickly while you're on a call with someone. I mean, using a tool like GPT, it takes about 3 to 4 seconds. Using a tool like Grok takes 1 second.
What is?
So you want to see me do the same thing
What's
on Grok?
I'll show you how quickly Grok on X?
Grok is Elon.
It's on X, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's
now we're
paid.
We're paid users. I'm a paid user on X. So do I have access to Grok? Yeah, show me this.
Everyone has that. I'm not a paid user on X.
What?
I have access to Grok.
Oh.
So Grok. So let's. Right. Yeah. So you could just go to grok.com, GROQ.com, and I have a business development meeting that meets every single month for 3 hours, and we basically share all this stuff. But look how this was instant. Whereas GPT took a minute, this took 1 second to do. It was done. And it has very similar information. It's not as detailed as the other one, but it's still, all the information's here.
That's crazy.
So what about a meeting note taker?
When I do like AI calling, I use otter.ai.
And then do you feed it into these tools as well? Do you have any automations?
I don't, but I can. If I need to, I will. Like if I'm having I can. Yeah, you can easily do that. I do have automation set up. I use make.com for my automations. This is what I teach inside my community. And so my school community, I teach people how to use make.com. So you want me to give you an example of what I do?
Of course.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so I'm going to log into my make.com account.
Hyros is about to be using Make as well. We're about to integrate with them as well next month instead of Zapier.
Yeah, so for example, if I go in here and I look for my enriching, let's say I want to enrich something with data. So I'll go to my completed automations. I go to enrich connection with data. So these are all the different data sources that I can get data on a particular person. So for example, if I want to enrich a connection with PDL or with DC or with SN or with Rocket Reach or whatever, I could just enable any of these. So in this case, I might, I might close this. I might just hit enable route. And now whenever I write yes to my LinkedIn connection sheet, and I run this automation, it'll send it to here and then add all their personal information in the spreadsheet. So if I go to my LinkedIn connections dashboard, so I'm going to say, and I can create a dashboard for anybody. Connections
we
dashboard.
Can't see that. I don't think we can see that.
Oh, you can't see that? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is my dashboard here. And by the way, Chase and Jesse, I'll make you each a dashboard for fun if you're open to it.
Cool. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. My 6:30 sales call's calling me. Let me just tell her. I'll call her back. Hey, Cynthia, can I call you back in like 10 minutes? I'm just finishing a podcast with someone and it's going late. Yeah, I'll call you right back. Thank you, Cynthia. I'll call you in like 10 minutes. All right, bye.
Sorry, Cynthia.
No.
We're keeping Joe long.
Cynthia's got to wait over here. So let's say, for example, I'm going to hit Control
Cynthia was the
Chase.
person you looked up on the...
Oh, my God.
How cool would that be? She's calling.
I'm searching Chase. I'm searching Chase. Oh, here you are, Chase. So let's say I want to get information on you, right? I'm going to press yes here. So yes in the enriched line, right? Now I'm going to go to make, and I'm going to say run, and it's going to look for all the yeses on the sheet.
Okay, so go back to make.
One.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it finds one, and then it fills in the sheet. On sheet 2, it'll fill in your information. So let's go back. Oh, actually, I just hit run once over here on the bottom left.
Okay. And
it went up here, and you see it says 1, 1, 1. So it found one contact that had the word yes.
Okay.
Now I go back into the sheet, share this tab. Now you see the sheet was updated. Let me go into enrich connections. Oh, I actually updated a different one that had the word yes in it. Okay, let me go back. Let me see who else has the word yes. I have 54 people in here. Let me just see if anybody else had the word yes. Let me just click in here. I'll click on this puppy here. I'll just clear everything. I'll see how many yeses I have by just filtering for only yeses. Oh, look, there's a lot of yeses here. There were a lot of yeses. So I'm just going to hit no to all these here. And you'll be the only yes, because otherwise it's going to enrich all these other EXP agents. I was in the middle of enriching all that. Okay?
Okay.
So now I removed that.
Right.
You're the only yes on the list now. Let me go back into make. Share this tab instead. Do you see I'm in make?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to hit run once. It's going to run. It's going to look for you. It found your email, and it added you to the sheet, and then it said enriched. So let me go back into the sheet. You see it says enriched by PDL. That's the source that enriched it. Before I just wrote yes. Now it says enriched by PDL. You see that?
Yep.
Now I go into tab 2, and this is how I set up the automation. Chase is over here. It says your company name, SaaS Sales Players. It shows company software, mail, United States, Louisville. Your cell phone number, it ends with 32. Your email address, your personal one, is Gmail, Chase Barrymore at Gmail. It shows your Twitter, the Life Bar.
Need to change that.
Facebook.com/chase.barrymore. It shows you have 1 to 10 employees, and that's the information I have about you.
There we go.
So there's a lot more information I can get from many different data sources. Let me just tell this person. My assistant just called me, told me that.
Well, Joe, we gotta. You're getting blown up right now. We kept you long enough. People need to go. Where do people need to go to connect with you, Joe?
Yeah,
you can easily find me on LinkedIn.
That's right.
At joelinkedin.com. I bought a domain name. I forwarded it to LinkedIn. So it's linkedin.com/in/Joe Apfelbaum. Make sure that in the note or in the message that you send me that you say that you heard me on the Sales Players podcast, because I have to probably remove a few hundred connections to add you guys. But the best way to let me know that you exist is by leaving comments on my posts, by emailing me, joe@ajaxunion.com.
There you go.
You can text me. You can text demo to 973-841-8868, and you'll be able to get into my CRM right away. And you'll get a response from my CRM with the link to my LinkedIn. So, yeah, that's what I recommend you do. And if you guys want to buy the book, you can buy High Energy Networking by going to highenergynetworking.com. It'll send you to Amazon.
Joe, this was
Brilliant.
a power
Joe, this was awesome.
meeting.
Yeah, this was something. I've never seen anything like this. This is crazy. This changes everything.
I'm buying. If you're on LinkedIn and you're not on this tool, you're sleeping.
You
Guys,
leave money on the table for sure.
I didn't even show you 50% of the things that tool
course
can
not.
use. So come to our next webinar.
Part
go
2.
to evyai.com/webinar, or we'll do part 2 if you want. I have so many other strategies that I could show you guys. It'll just blow your mind in terms of what you can do with this AI. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching this. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. Give the like button. Make sure that you leave a 5-star review on iTunes. And make sure that you thank the co-hosts by sending them LinkedIn recommendations.
This guy's money.
Yes, please.
Please, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Guys,
Thanks,
seriously,
Joe.
write a review for this podcast. Why not? You're listening to it. You love it. What's wrong with you? Go
What
out
is
and
wrong
leave a
with
positive
you?
review.
Please, we need
5
it. We need
stars.
them. Come
Free.
on.
Screenshot. Send it to them. Tell them you did it. Come on. Be a mensch.
Yeah.
Love you, Joe. Love you,
Love you
Joe.
too. Talk to you soon, guys.
Hey, just all right.
I told her I'll call her back and